Hey everyone, welcome to the latest video tutorial. We are focusing on paper 1 short question revision, and this aims to explore what the short questions are like, in particular a 6-marker, looking at the 2019 paper, and we are using the mark scheme, the examiner report and an example of a student answer. So on paper 1 and on paper 3 there are short questions, and the second question is a 6-marker. This question will ask you to outline 3 things, and these could be factors, reasons, ways, problems, etc. For example, outline 3 factors within school that may shape gender differences in subject choice. You can help prepare for these by asking your teacher for a question bank or writing your own for each topic and preparing your own mark scheme, or alternatively, Hectic Teacher has plenty of sample questions for you to use, as has Steve Chapman, which is on sociology stuff, and they also have things for OCR also. Your answers should be short for each point. You are asked for 1 or 2 sentences are enough. Start each point on a separate line, and if you're not sure if they're all right but can think of an extra one, you pop that down. On the short questions, you should be spending 1.5 minutes per mark, so that is 6 minutes for question 1, a 4-marker, and 9 minutes for this 6-marker. Question 2. However, you may answer these much quicker than this, which is perfect because you want extra planning time for the longer answers. So let's have a look at 2019 paper question 2. So my main advice when looking at an exam question for the first time is don't panic, take a deep breath, read it carefully. I suggest that you read the question once, second time underline the trigger words or hooks in the question, and if required, read it a third time and do some small annotations about possible ways or characteristics to help organise your thoughts. So the trigger words in this question is the ways, characteristics of school, and is similar to the characteristics of the workplace. So there's lots for you to be thinking about when you're answering this question. By identifying the first way of the characteristic will get you 1 mark, and stating how the characteristic of school is similar to a characteristic of a workplace will get you the 2nd mark. So as you can see by the mark scheme, there are a range of ways that are identified, such as being fragmented, extrinsic rewards, competition, alienation, hierarchy of authority, and so on. However, that will only earn you 1 mark, because in order to get the 2nd mark for the explanation point, you have to clearly show an example of the way of the school is similar to the workplace. So for example here, you might get 1 mark for saying it's fragmented, and then you need to give an example of what is fragmented in school, so different subjects, and then show this is similar to the workplace being fragmented into small meaningless tasks. It was not enough to say both have a uniform, for example. That would have got you 1 mark. You had to say, to get the 2nd point, schools have a uniform with a school badge or a logo on, which is similar to the workplace that also has an employee uniform with a badge or logo on for that place of work. So looking at a student answer, you can see that this student has applied very good exam technique. They've clearly indicated 3 characteristics, and they do that by showing firstly, secondly, and finally. They also visually, you can see that they've offered 3 different characteristics by missing a line between each point. And these characteristics are given, which I've underlined, which gets them the first identification mark. So they've used hierarchy, extrinsic rewards and fragmentation. There's also a clear explanation showing the example of the similarity between school and the workplace. So looking at the first one is that the school is similar to the workplace in that there's a head teacher with all their control correspond to the role of the boss in the workplace. Got a similarity there. Likewise, they do the same in the 2nd point and also the 3rd point. So this student got 6 out of 6, and I've made reference to the mark scheme, which bullet points they've achieved there. It's always valuable to look at the examiner commentary as well. Now, examiner comments are released after the exam, and it's a summary about how each question was answered in general, and you can gain insight to what the examiner was looking for. These are available for all exam series and are available to access on AQA. So as you can see here, if you have a little bit of a read through, the majority of students were able to identify and explain at least 2 reasons. However, the least successful were students who gave function of schools without referencing a characteristic, and clearly the word characteristic was given in the question, so that's what you were looking for. And many failed to be awarded the second mark by failing to give an example of the characteristics and how that was similar in the workplace or mirrored in the workplace, which was clearly identified in the question. So hopefully that will give you a good understanding about how to answer a 6 marker. Here is another one for you to have a go at. So outline 3 functions that education may perform for society. You might use your own revision notes, create your own mark scheme, time yourself, play by being the examiner to help you plan for these questions. So just to summarise to finish off, make sure that you are reading the question at least twice before answering, highlight and annotate to organise your thoughts, new point, new line. You get marks for an identification point and an explanation point, which links to all the hooks in the question, and make sure you are practicing them by creating your own questions or using question banks. So as always, massive thank you for watching. The links are below. We have been answering a 6-mark question for Education Paper 1 2019. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.